This is Mamuni. Thank you so much for being Amar Baba.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I have discussed how to pass journal entries for bad debts and bad debts recovered. So let's get started. চলো শুরু করা যাক। So let's journalize the following transactions. In rough work, of course, initially. So the first transaction is rupees 10,000 due from Pooja is not recoverable. So that means we are unable to get money from Pooja rupees 10,000. So what are the two accounts you got to identify? First one is bad debts account. Another one is Pooja account. Bad debts always falls under nominal account. Remember this thing or memorize it. And Pooja, as you all know, falls under personal account. Bad debts falls under nominal account. Under nominal account, all losses and expenses debit. Here, Pooja is unable to give rupees 10,000. So it's a loss for the business. So bad debt should be debited. And Pooja is, though Pooja is not the giver of money, still we have to credit her. Why? Because we have to close her account. Okay? Though Pooja is the customer, Pooja is unable to give rupees 10,000. She is unable to pay rupees 10,000 back. Still, we have to credit her. So, Pooja account will be credited because Pooja's account will be closed. Okay. What is bad debts? Bad debts is when the goods are sold to a customer on credit. Remember, not in cash. When the goods are sold to a customer on credit. And if the amount due from her becomes irrecoverable or she is unable to pay. She is unable to pay for any other reason. She becomes insolvent. The amount or money due from her is not recovered. It is called or known as bad debts. Okay. So one will be bad debts account. It's a loss for the business. It falls under nominal account always. So bad debts account will be debited. Bad debts should be debited. And Pooja account should be credited. It's a personal account. Though she is not the giver of money, but still we have to close her account. So Pooja should be credited. Okay. Let's start the second journal entry. The second transaction is on 25th February, received from Ria, which were written off as bad debts in the year 2021, rupees 5,000. Okay. Received 5,000 from Ria, which were written off as bad debts in the year 2021. We have received from Ria in the year 2022, amount 5,000. So what are the two accounts? One will be cash account. Another will be bad debts recovered account. Bad debts recovered account. Cash account, we all know cash falls under real account. And bad debts falls under nominal account. Now see, received from Ria rupees 5,000, which were written off as bad in the year 2021. So cash is coming in according to real account. What comes in is debit. So cash account should be debit. What is bad debts recovered account? First we should know what is bad debts recovered account. Sometimes it so happens that the bad debts previously written off as bad or considered uncollectible from the customer subsequently recovered from the customer. Okay. So this is known as bad debts recovered account. Bad debt always falls under nominal account. When you're receiving money from RIA, which were written off as bad in the last year 2021, it is an income. So under nominal account, all losses, all incomes and gains, credit. Under nominal account, all incomes and gains, credit. So bad debts recovered account is an income for the business. Is an income for the business or a gain for the business. So it should be credited. Okay. So one will be cash account. Cash account should be debited. Bad debts recovered account will be credited. Okay. Clear? One more thing I forgot to tell you. Bad debts recovered account will be credited and not RIA account will be credited. Why? The personal account of the customer should not be credited. Why? Because RIA's account must have been credited already while passing the journal entry for bad debts. Okay? The personal account of RIA should not be credited. Remember this thing. Because RIA's account must have been credited already while passing the journal entry for bad debts. Okay? The last transaction is Priya, who owed us rupees 50,000, is declared insolvent. Is declared insolvent and 40 paisa in a rupee is received. By the way, what is insolvent? When a customer cannot pay the debts she owes. Okay? Insolvency means insolvency is a state of financial distress in which a person is unable to pay her debts. Okay? So what are the accounts? Remember one thing. The first transaction and the second transaction was simple entry. Here the third transaction will be a compound journal entry or composite journal entry. Okay. What is a compound or composite journal entry? I have already told you in my first video. The compound or composite journal entry means if an entry contains more than one debit or more than one credit or both, it is known as a compound journal entry or a composite journal entry. Okay, so what are the three accounts? What are the three accounts? First one is cash account. Second account is bad debts account. What is the third account? The third account is Priya account. Priya account. So cash always falls under real account. We all know. Bad debts falls account nominal account. Priya falls under personal account. So see here, Priya who owed us 50,000 is declared insolvent and 40 paisa in a rupee is received. So we are receiving something, some money. So cash is coming in. According to real account, what comes in is debit. So Priya is paying 40 paisa in a rupee. So the business is receiving 40 paisa in a rupee. That is 20,000. 40% of 50,000 means 20,000 cash is coming in. So according to real account, what comes in is debit. So cash account should be debited. Bad debts. Bad debts is always a loss. Bad debts falls under nominal account. What is bad debts? I have already explained. What is bad debts? Let me explain one more time. When the goods are sold to a customer on credit, not in cash, on credit, not in cash, if the amount due from her becomes irrecoverable, that is, she is unable to pay or money is not recovered from her, it is known as bad debts. It's a loss. It's a loss for the business. So, from the point of view of the business, bad debts is a loss. So bad debts falls under nominal account. So according to nominal account, all losses as expenses debit. Since it's a loss, it should be debited. Priya falls under personal account, but she is the giver of 40 paisa. That is 20,000 she is giving. So she is the giver. But the rest of the money, 30,000, she is not giving. She won't be able to give. But will still credit her. Priya should be credited. Why? Because we have to close her account. She won't be able to give back rupees 30,000. We have to close her account. So Priya should be credited. Understood? Cash account will be, one will be cash account. Number 2 will be bad debts account. Number 3 will be Priya account. See, this is a compound journal entry. Previously, we did simple journal entries. This is a compound journal entry. Here are 2 debits and 1 credit. Okay, more than 1 debit or more than 1 credit is known as compound or composite journal entry. Okay, clear? Now let's do the journal entries as well. Let's pass the journal entries in the journal in fair. So what was the first transaction? On 24th February, rupees 10,000 due from Pooja is not recoverable. One was debit, whose bad debts debit, Pooja credits. Let's do it. 2022 February 24th. Bad debts was debit. Let's debit bad debts. Bad debts account debit. Leave a little space and then write to Pooja account. Write narration, always in a bracket, always in bracket. Being money due from Pooja. Is not recoverable. So what is the amount? See, what is the amount? 10,000. What is the second transaction? Received from Rio, which were written off as bad debts in the year 2021, rupees 5,000. Debit cash account was debited and bad debts recovered account credited. Date 25th February. So cash account debited to bad debts recovered account. Narration. Being money received from Ria which were written off as bad debts in the year 2021. Amount, what is the amount? See, 5,000. What is the last entry? The last transaction was On 26 February 2022, Priya owed us rupees 50,000, is declared insolvent and 40 paisa in a rupees received. So, cash account debit, bad debts account debit, and Priya account credit. Let's do it. February 26th, cash account debit, bad debts account debit, to Priya account. How much we are receiving from her? 40 paise. That is 40%. What was the amount? Total amount 50,000. 50,000, and she is giving us only 40 paise. So that is 40%. So 50,000 into 40%, that comes to 20,000. And bad debts, how much was bad debts? Minus 50,000. তাহলে ও কত দিচ্ছে? Cash account we have received 20,000 from her. So 50,000 minus 20,000, 30,000 is a loss for the business. That is bad debts. 30,000 is a loss for the business. So add up this total, 20 plus 30, 50,000. Always remember, debit side total should be equal to credit side total. 20,000 plus 30,000, 50,000. And Priya account credit, 50,000. Debit side total should be equal to credit side total. Okay, this is 20 plus 30, 50,000. And this is also 50,000. Now let us write the narration. Being Priya, who owed us rupees 50,000, is declared insolvent. In a rupee is received. Let me explain this one more time. Cash account, we are receiving from her 50,000. We should have received from her 50,000. She is only able to pay 40% of the total amount. That is 20,000. Priya থেকে আমরা পেতাম 50,000. ও only 40% দিতে পারছে. That is 40% of 50,000 is 20,000. তাহলে 50,000 minus 20,000, 30,000 she is unable to pay. Rupees 30,000 she is unable to pay. ও 30,000 দিতে পারছে না. ও 20,000 দিয়েছে. তাহলে 50 minus 20,000, 30,000. So 30,000 is a loss for the business. তাই জন্য bad debts is a loss. Bad debts account will be debited. Okay? And Priya account is 50,000. So your journal is ready. Okay. These are the journal entries for bad debts and bad debts recovered account. I hope you understood. Let me do the total also. The total is 65,000. As we all know, debit side total should be equal to credit side total. The total is 65,000. So your journal is ready. I hope you understood. Okay. This was useful, I guess. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you'll find this video useful. I'll catch you all in the next video. Till then, keep loving your parents, because they are the only fixed points in this ever-changing world. Bye-bye. keep shining and keep rising.